Welcome to Whiskey's a Journey. My name's Peter Fasciano, and today is what I think I should call the final Friday flight fight. I actually got this idea from Tony. He sent me a message and said, hey, do you have enough whiskeys to actually do a peated journey around the world? And I thought to myself, I think I do. And I went ahead and checked, and I ended up with 5 different peated whiskeys, single malt peated whiskeys from around the world. So let's go ahead and jump into this flight and see what we're doing today. First of all, I have an Irish peated whiskey, Teeling Black Pits, coming in at 46% ABV, natural color, non-chill filtered. It is matured. It's a non-age stated, but it's matured in ex-bourbon and Sauterne wine casks, and that's going to be in glass number 1. And I paid $79.99, and I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, if you don't know. Bottle number 2, I've got a Japanese single malt peated. This is the single malt Yoichi, coming in at 45% ABV. I do believe it's matured in mostly ex-bourbon. I do believe it is chill filtered, and it is probably not natural color. And I paid $88.99. And I do believe they actually use peated malt from Scotland. Double check me, let me know for sure if you know in the comments down below. And that's going to be in glass number 2. Glass number 3, I've got an Indian single malt, Amaroot Fusion. This comes in at 50% ABV, natural color, non-chill filtered. It is also matured in ex-bourbon, and I paid $83.99. That will be in glass number 3. Glass number 4, Lagavulin 8 peated single malt Scotch. This is obviously 8 years of age, natural color, non-chill filtered, coming in at 48% ABV, and I paid $64.99. And this is also, I believe, mostly, if not all, matured in ex-bourbon. Again, let me know in the comments down below if you know any different. And that's going to be in glass number 4. My final glass is going to be in an American single malt, the Solom 2nd edition from Westland, 50% ABV, non-chill filtered, natural color, and they use all of their own peat from the United States. In fact, I think from Washington. And if I'm not pronouncing this right, let me know, but I think it's the Skagit Valley malting peated malt, and I paid $109.99. And the maturation of this is in 2 different types of New American oak, along with an ex first fill bourbon barrel. And that's going to be in glass number 5. Let me go ahead and clear these things out of here. Give you a little bit of some reminders. I do have a giveaway happening at the moment. So if you are interested in supporting this channel, do me a favor and read through the description. All of the rules for that giveaway are in there. I am also shooting this after getting over some sort of sickness. I'm not sure exactly what it was. I don't know if it was the changing in the season, but I think my palate is still pretty good, but my voice is a little bit off. And I think in about 2 weeks, I go in for a double hernia surgery. So I'm going to try to batch shoot a couple of these videos. So while I'm laid up, I have some content to give you guys. So they're all mixed up. Let me go ahead and get these lids off and then start through from my left going through to my right. I'm going to go ahead and put this one over here. So from my left all the way to my right. I don't know if my palate's going to get blown out on this. I don't think any of them are really heavily peated, but we'll see. And I've got them stickered on the bottom to reveal to myself at the very end which one I like the most. All right. Glass number 1 on the nose. All right. It is fruity. I don't know if I'm picking up much peat at all. And then the fruit notes, I think are going to be pretty much the same throughout. I think there are a lot of light fruits, grilled peaches, grilled pineapple. This smells fairly sweet with very little amount of peat. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing on the palate. Oh, that's pretty good. The peat definitely shows up. It's more of an ashy peat. Behind it, it's pretty spicy. Not a whole lot of sweet. That might change because that was the first sip. So let me get a rinse and move on to glass number 2. All right, glass 2. Yeah, just like glass number 1. Very sweet, not a whole lot of peat. grilled peach, grilled pineapple. Kind of got a little bit of a red apple note. And of course, the malt is there. They're all single malts. But yeah, this is very similar to glass number 1. All right, cheers. Not a whole lot there. Doesn't seem to be as proofy as glass number 1. A little bit drying, and I think that might be the second sip. Second sips usually always kind of come across as a little bit drying, but all of that fruit note is still there. Grilled peaches, grilled pineapple. It is malty. Not a whole lot of spice to mention, and the peat note is there, but I can't really pick up on it as much as far as Band-Aid iodine, whether it's ashy or if it's on the savory side of like the grilled meats or smoked meats. I'll have to come back to that one, but pretty good. Off to a good start. Let me get a rinse, move on to glass number 3. All right, glass 3. Ooh, that one is funky. The most funk so far. That is crazy. Yeah, that's straight up earth funk, decaying leaves, spice, forest floor, trees. That's insane. I don't know if I like this one on the nose at all. It is so much different than the first two. I'm not really picking up much malt in here either. Those botanicals, maybe that's a better word for it. It's very botanical. I tell you, that's wild. Let's go ahead and get this thing on the palate. Ooh, okay. So now that is a burnt char barrel plus a campfire smoke. It doesn't come across as ashy, and it doesn't come across as medicinal. It's like you're sitting around a campfire in the middle of a whole bunch of botanicals in a forest with decaying leaves all around you, and you're getting whiffs of campfire smoke. That is bizarre. I don't know if my mouth is actually going to be able to rinse that note out. I don't think in my entire collection have I had something as strange as that. All right, let's go ahead and move on to glass number 4. That is absolutely wild. All right, this is back down to grilled peach, grilled pineapple, ashy log, vanilla, malty sweetness. Yeah, this is more back to a traditional sweet peat single malt. All right, let's get this thing on the palate. All right, just as I expected, coming off of glass number 3. Glass number 4 is very tame, has those classic peated ashy notes, very sweet, very malty with some vanilla. I don't think it is as vibrant as the first two, and definitely an outlier of glass number 3, but still pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and get a rinse and move on to glass number 5. All right, here we go, glass number 5. All right, glass number 5, salty, briny, peaty, fruity, pepper, vanilla, all your classic peated notes are coming through here as well. A little bit more vibrant on the nose than the first two, and definitely glass number 4. All right, let's go ahead and get this one on the palate. Yeah, that one's good. That one's really good. A little bit prickly, a little bit spiky. ABV is coming through. Good malt, good vanilla, grilled peach, grilled pineapple, pepper, ginger, good amount of spice. Yeah, I like that one quite a bit. That was my first run through. What I'm gonna do off camera, I'm gonna go back from my right to left, take some notes, jot down some idea of an order, let my palate relax a little bit. So I will do my best to pick an order, and when I come back, I'll let you guys know what my final thoughts are. All right, I gotta tell you, that was crazy. I don't know what the heck is in glass number 3, but by far it is the wildest peated experience that I've had. But unfortunately, it is going to come in 5th place. There is something about this that is too funky and too wild and too crazy, and it was an outlier within this. Now I can kind of see how that would be a good thing at times. This would definitely be a mood pour and something that I would like to share with other people. But based on this flight, it really does not have many traditional notes as a peated single malt has. So that's kind of what I'm looking for, but I'm gonna put this in 5th place. Coming in at 4th place, I have glass number 2. I said this drank a little bit hot. It was fruit forward, and there was a burnt char note, like I had mentioned, like biting down on a charcoal. It left it to be a little bit drying in the mouth, and the spice, I think because of the ABV, coming across as a little hot. I think the spice level was too much and it didn't balance out the sweet. So that's coming in fourth place. In third place, glass number 1, right next to it. I felt that this one had a pretty good balance of sweet and spice, but the flavors, as I was going through, kind of eventually dropped off, and they didn't stick around as much. But the flavors that were there, I liked quite a bit. I said it came across as grilled fruit, like the peaches and the pineapple. It did come across as a little bit floral, not too much. I don't really like floral or waxy notes in a whiskey, but it was there just a little bit to add a little bit of depth and complexity to it without going over the top of being too floral. The peat note that I got was a good campfire smoke, no medicinal and no savory meat. All around, a pretty good one, so that came in third place. In second place, glass number 4, I said that this was a peppery spice, came across as pretty fruity. The vanilla, the grilled fruit, the grilled pineapple, a little bit of citrus is also coming out of here. The peat note was almost to the point where it got into the smoked meat savory side, but it tended to be a little bit more damp log, campfire, ashy. The ABV wasn't very high, but the reason why I put this in second place instead of third is the flavor lingered a little bit longer than glass number 1. So this ended up being in second place because those notes stayed a little bit longer, so the finish was longer. And then in first place, glass number 5, I gotta tell you, this was the most traditional peated single malt in the group. It came across as pretty hot. It came across as campfire. The grilled peach, grilled pineapple, the spice notes, everything was really well balanced. I thought the ABV came across as getting to the point where you knew it was there, but it wasn't too hot. It also gave me some salty, briny notes as well, just added to those layers of flavor. And by far, this had the longest finish of all of them. The vanilla, the brine, the salt, the peat, the grilled peaches, grilled pineapple, it just stuck around and it never really left. So all around, this came out on top in first place. Very interesting blind, very interesting flight. Let me know in the comments down below if you have had international peated whiskeys before from around the world. Which one do you like the most? Now, I understand that this is a selected group of peated single malts. I have a couple of American peated single malts, obviously a whole bunch of peated Islay single malt scotches. Just understand that I tried to kind of get them as close as I can with the ABV, and I tried to find as many just ex-bourbon as I possibly could, with still kind of staying within the parameters of multiple countries peated single malts. Let me know if you've ever done anything like this and how did it turn out for you. That's all I got for you. Wherever you're at in your journey, I hope you're enjoying it. And until the next time, we'll talk to you later. Cheers, everyone.